Well, good morning, everyone. This is Bishop Deb. I'm coming to you bright and early from the scenic lookout on the Niagara River. I have to go into Niagara Falls to office supply store. And so I've got some time before it opens, and I thought I would do a Spreaker broadcast and sit here and look at the seagulls and have a different vantage point for meditation this morning. A lot of seagulls down there. I can hear them from up here. It's an iconic lookout where I'm sitting. We look towards Toronto, and you see the curving Niagara River ahead. I'll take a picture to post. So how are you progressing in this journey of Lent? I'm finding that, I don't know what it is, if it's the change of the seasons or what, I am not sleeping well. I go to bed and my brain is awake and I'm thinking of 1,000 things I need to do, and which is really unlike me. I've always been the kind of person that I'm asleep before my head hits the pillow practically. So I don't know if it's just shifting energies or change in the season, what it is, but I wish it would stop because I spend my day feeling very foggy lately. There are a lot of things you can do that I've read about when it's not insomnia, I don't think, but I just can't wind down. So, I was reading about this, and it's important before you go to bed to have a ritual to tell your body that you're shutting down. You should not have any electronics in your bedroom. They even frown on a TV. But if you're the kind of person that goes to bed with your phone or your iPad or your tablet, and you check in, that light that emanates from that thing apparently disrupts your sleep pattern. So that might be my problem. I've been thinking I've been unwinding by playing, some little game before I go to sleep. And I think it's having the opposite effect. I think it's waking my brain up. So I'm going to try their advice and see how that goes. And maybe that'll help you too, if you're having the same problem. And they say to have a little ritual, have a nice calming glass of milk or a cup of something decaffeinated, just a soothing hot beverage, and, prepare. You can read before you go to sleep. I have a lot of things I read that put me right to sleep, but maybe that will work. Anyway, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and in our conversation, it became more and more apparent. This is a person that I've always admired and was really kind of hearing for the first time an undercurrent of insecurity, which surprised me, because this is a person who's successful. They have a lot going on in their life, and to all exterior glances, it seems like they're pretty well put together. People depend on them, and it was just interesting to have that insight. And I guess most of us, we all have our insecurities. There's no question about that. Most of us feel like we are going through the day, and sometimes, of course, there's things that come up that, it's a learning curve we're not expecting. We can't handle it. But more often than not, we rise to the challenge and we get through it. It's just what we do. We don't wring our hands for the most part and say, oh, I can't. Well, this is something very big. But we're kind of capable. We're capable human beings. And probably even as I say that, you can think of a dozen people that you think aren't. I don't know. Our brains go there. But it's true that if we're given the opportunity and enough resources and enough encouragement, we can handle challenges. So what is it about us that makes us feel insecure? In fact, what I was hearing is kind of I don't deserve this attitude. I'm unworthy, which I hear a lot, and I'm sure you do too. You might feel it sometimes. I mean, we're not perfect beings, that's for sure. We carry around with us things from the past and things that have been said and done, things we've done that we wish we hadn't said or hadn't happened. I think that is true for all people. We're not perfect. Sometimes we do things that are really uncool. And yet, I have to say, we have an out on this one. We have a solution. Because once we recognize that we've said or done something wrong, once we, if you're Roman Catholic, you go to confession, or, other mainstream churches, Anglicans have confession as well, or you go to church on Sunday and just in the general confession, you get it off your chest, or go and talk to a counselor or somebody, maybe even a professional of a different kind, just to get it off your chest, just to get it outside of you. Sometimes going for coffee with a good friend just to clear the air, get it out so you can hear it, has a very therapeutic effect. We are amazing people, capable of healing, capable of new beginnings. And one of the great tenets of the Christian church is that when you say you're sorry and you decide that you're not going to act like that again, or that you're going to make amends, or that you see the value, the lesson that came from it and move forward, it's all gone. It's done. You are worthy. When I was growing up, I had a little button and it said, "God isn't finished with me yet." And then there was another one, "I'm perfect as I am. God didn't make no junk." That kind of, those little slogans from long ago. But they're true. We are children of God. We are heirs to the kingdom. We are not junk. You are not junk. You are an amazing being. Think about for a moment. Just the fact that you got out of bed today, that your body is working, that all your systems in your body are geared up and moving you through the day, that you can raise your arm to put that drink to your lips. We are a feat of engineering unlike anything in this planet. All the creatures have their wonders and their abilities, but the human beings on this planet are special. Everything's made in the image of God, but we have the capacity to reach out and help one another. We have the capacity to forgive one another. Forgiveness is a key thing, and as we move through Lent, it's really important that you consider this. Are you feeling badly about something today? Something you've said or done? Are you feeling like you need to make an apology? Or maybe you're hanging on to something in the past that's happened. And sometimes that person that is the culprit behind those bad feelings isn't around anymore. But we hang on to it, don't we? We hang on to it. And it hurts us. Every time we think about it, we get re-injured sometimes, re-wounded. We don't need that. That happened a long time ago, in many cases. It's done. It's finished. And what happened might have been awful and life-changing for the worse. But it's done. You see what I mean? It's done. It's in the past. Sometimes we just have to say, for our own health and peace of mind, that happened. There's nothing I can do about it now. I choose to let it go. I choose to forgive that person who obviously did something terrible, or I choose to forgive myself. I was angry or upset. I choose to forgive those actions. I make amends. If you're the one that did something. But that's what forgiveness is. It's about us, not about the person that did it. Sometimes people need to hear. Sometimes people need to hear you say, I am sorry. Sometimes we need to hear it too. But if that's not possible, then we have to let it go and give it to God and move on with our lives. These things hold us back from being whole and full. So this Lent, there's so much that we carry around with us. Start to pack it up. I'm putting a canned good a day in a bag for 40 days, or various things for the local food bank. If we can also do this spiritually, every day, take one of those things from the past that you have been holding on to and put it in the God bag, the God can. Give it to God. You don't need it. You don't need it in your life anymore. What's done is done. Now, new day, new possibilities, new place. Do something positive. Do something positive. And if you need to make amends, go to that person. Apologize. Healing and reconciliation is truly miraculous sometimes. It frees everybody. And if you can't go to the person, or if the person that hurt you is no longer there, write them a letter. What did they do? What did they say? How did it hurt you? Write it down and burn it. Release it to the universe. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get so serious first thing in the morning, but forgiveness and reconciliation is a key component to our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health. There's so much that we hang on to, and it makes us feel that we're not good enough, because there's always something there that niggles. There's always something there that makes us feel less than. So today, take that step and see what a difference it makes in your life when you release, when you let it go, when you give it to God, because God's going to do way more than we could ever do. God's got it. God's got your back. Let's pray. Gracious God, in this world of ups and downs, we know that our path can be rocky as well as smooth. Today, give us courage to offer those things that have held us back, the things that we regret, the things that still make us angry that other people have done to us, the voices of the past that tell us we're not good enough, that we are never going to amount to anything, that we're dreamers, all those negative voices that come to us when we try to move forward and do something new or embrace a new challenge. Help us to get past these things, to be the strong, confident, capable people that you've created. Help us to recognize that you are the one who called us into being, that we have your DNA, that we have the spark of you within us, that we, in our way, as heirs to your kingdom, as creations of your mighty love, that we have everything we need, and we are worthy. Help us to give these things over to you so that we might move forward and know how incredibly wonderful and joyful life can be. Help us to give it over to you, knowing that your shoulders are broad, and as we are contrite of heart, and as we tenderly, gingerly sometimes give this to you, we can trust that you will accept it, that you will forgive us, and the slate is made clean once more. We give you thanks for all the blessings that pour into our life this day. Give us eyes to see your hand at work. Help us to appreciate with everything we do that we can change the world with a small